The day I was captured began like any other patrol mission. My name is Marcus Hale, a reconnaissance soldier assigned to the outer colonies of Earth's expanding frontier. We were stationed on Outpost Epsilon 7, a lonely research base orbiting a mineral-rich moon near the edge of mapped space. It was supposed to be routine. Scan the nearby asteroid belt. Watch for pirates. Send reports back to command. Nothing exciting ever happened that far from Earth, until the sky opened. I was inside the observation deck when every alarm on the station began screaming at once. Outside the reinforced glass, space warped like rippling water. Then they appeared. Ships. Hundreds of them. They weren't human designs. Their hulls were smooth and curved like living metal, glowing with soft blue veins of light. Massive crescent-shaped vessels floated silently above the station like ancient gods descending from the stars. Unknown fleet detected, the computer announced. No one had time to react. A pulse of emerald light shot from the largest ship. The station's shields collapsed instantly. Then everything went dark. When the lights returned, the hangar doors had been torn open like paper. They came through the breach. Tall figures in sleek armor stepped into the station corridors. Their helmets resembled elegant masks with glowing violet eyes. Alien soldiers. They moved quickly and silently, disabling weapons and sealing escape routes with energy barriers. We tried to resist. It lasted 3 minutes. I remember raising my rifle, firing 2 shots, and watching the rounds dissolve into a shimmering field before they reached the nearest soldier. The alien tilted its head slightly. Then a beam of pale light struck me in the chest. The world went black. Middle, a prisoner of an empire. When I woke up, I was no longer on the station. I was inside a cell made of smooth metallic walls that pulsed with dim light. The air felt different, cleaner somehow, with a faint scent like rain before a storm. Through a transparent barrier, I could see an enormous chamber beyond the cell. It looked like a hangar bay, but instead of ships, there were creatures. Strange animals moved within containment fields. Some floated through the air, like glowing jellyfish. Others resembled armored beasts with crystalline horns. Then I realized something disturbing. Every cage held a different species. Humanoids, reptilian figures, tall insect-like beings, prisoners, or trophies. The door to my cell slid open without a sound. 3 alien soldiers stepped inside. Up close, I could see their armor wasn't mechanical at all. It flowed like liquid metal across their bodies. Their leader removed its helmet. The being beneath looked almost human, but taller, with silver skin and eyes that shimmered like stars. Weapons unnecessary, it said calmly in perfect English. I blinked in shock. You speak English? The alien studied me curiously. Our translators adapt quickly. Humans are fascinating. Where am I? I demanded. You are aboard the Imperial flagship of the Velkari Empire. The name meant nothing to me, but the word empire was enough to send a chill down my spine. Why capture us? I asked. The alien hesitated slightly. Correction. We captured you. Before I could respond, energy restraints snapped around my wrists. You have been selected, the alien continued. For what? The soldier's glowing eyes studied me again. For presentation. The gift. They escorted me through corridors unlike anything I had ever seen. The ship was enormous, more like a floating city than a vessel. Towering pillars stretched towards ceilings filled with swirling constellations projected across transparent crystal. Alien officials walked through the halls wearing robes of luminous fabric. Some stopped and stared at me. Others whispered quietly. Eventually, we reached a massive doorway guarded by towering statues. The doors slid open. Inside was a throne room. It was vast beyond imagination. A circular chamber surrounded by floating balconies and shimmering waterfalls of light cascading from the ceiling. At the center stood a raised platform, and upon it, a throne made of black crystal. Seated on that throne was her, the alien queen. She was unlike any being I had ever seen. Tall, elegant, with flowing silver hair that shimmered like liquid moonlight. Her eyes glowed with deep violet light, ancient and powerful. She looked both beautiful and terrifying. The soldiers forced me to kneel. One of them stepped forward. "Your Majesty," the soldier announced, "we present the tribute from the newly discovered human territories." "Tribute?" I looked up in disbelief. "You can't be serious," I muttered. The queen leaned forward slightly. Her voice echoed softly through the chamber. "A human." Her gaze studied me with intense curiosity. "I have heard much about your species." I swallowed nervously. "Well, nice to meet you too." Several alien nobles murmured in shock. The queen raised a hand, silencing them. "You fought during your capture," she said. "Yes." "You resisted despite knowing defeat was certain." "That's what soldiers do." A faint smile touched her lips. "Interesting." She stood from the throne and slowly walked down the steps toward me. The entire court watched in silence. When she reached me, she circled slowly, like a scientist examining a rare specimen. Strong bone structure, enhanced endurance, neural patterns unusual for a developing species. I frowned. "Are you analyzing me?" "In a way." She stopped in front of me. "Do you know why you were brought here?" "I assume execution." The court erupted in quiet laughter. The queen shook her head. "No." She leaned closer. "You were brought here as a gift." A queen's secret. The words didn't make sense. "A gift," I repeated. "Yes." She turned and walked back toward the throne. For centuries, the Velkari Empire has ruled hundreds of worlds. Our fleets dominate entire galaxies. She paused. But power alone does not ensure survival. The chamber grew quiet. Our people are changing, weakening. Murmurs spread through the alien nobles. Our scientists have searched countless civilizations for genetic solutions. My stomach dropped. "You're talking about experimentation." She shook her head. "Not experimentation." She looked directly at me. "Evolution." The realization hit me slowly. "You think humans can help your species?" "Yes." She stepped closer again. "Your biology is adaptable. Your species thrives in hostile environments. Your resilience is remarkable." "So, what exactly does that have to do with me?" Her glowing eyes locked onto mine. "You will live within the palace as my honored guest." "Guest, yes." Her next words made the entire room fall silent. "And perhaps something more." I stared at her. "Wait, are you saying?" The queen raised a hand gently. "For now, you will simply remain here." She turned to the court. "The human will not be harmed." A noble alien immediately protested. "Your Majesty, the council will never allow." The queen's eyes flashed. "The council does not rule this empire." Silence fell instantly. She looked back at me. "You may rise, Marcus Hale." I slowly stood. "How do you know my name?" She smiled slightly. "We studied you long before your capture." Ending. A new destiny. Weeks passed aboard the flagship. Instead of a prison cell, I was given a chamber overlooking the endless stars. Alien scholars visited daily, asking questions about humanity, our culture, our wars, our history. But the queen visited the most. Sometimes she simply stood beside the balcony watching distant galaxies. "Your species fascinates me," she admitted one evening. Why? I asked. Because you fight even when hope is gone. That's called stubbornness. She smiled softly. No. That is called courage. Over time, I began to realize something surprising. The queen wasn't a tyrant. She was trying to save her people. The Velkari Empire was ancient, too ancient. Their genetics had stagnated after millennia of controlled evolution. Without change, their species would slowly fade. Humanity represented something new, unpredictable, alive. One night she spoke quietly. The council wants to dissect you. Comforting. But I refused. Why? She turned to face me. Because I believe cooperation is stronger than control. I studied her carefully. So, what happens now? She looked out at the stars. That depends on you. Me? Yes. Her violet eyes glowed softly. You were brought here as a gift. But you are not property. The word surprised me. You have a choice. A choice between what? She stepped closer. Return to Earth and forget everything. Or stay. Stay and help our civilizations learn from one another. The offer hung in the air. 2 worlds. 2 destinies. I looked out at the endless stars beyond the window. Back home, humanity was still fighting small wars over borders and politics. Here was an entire empire asking for help. I finally smiled. Well, I said, I guess every soldier eventually gets reassigned. The queen tilted her head curiously. Meaning? I extended my hand. Let's see if 2 species can change the future together. For a moment, the ancient ruler of a galactic empire looked genuinely surprised. Then she took my hand, and somewhere beyond the flagship, among the silent galaxies, the future of 2 civilizations quietly began to change.